Hey, my beautiful light beings. Listen. I am back again, and this video is going to be very short. I'm saying that because, yeah, okay, sniffles. But I am here because, as the title says, we're gonna get down to the quick nitty-gritty of, and I think I'm gonna do this into a two-part video because this is a lot, but this is like the introduction really to like spirituality and understanding how they flow, how your mental and your spirit flows hand in hand. You understand? One thing I need people to understand is that in this physical realm, right, this is like the lowest of the realms. You get what I'm saying in regards to energy and spirituality and things of that nature, right? So because the 3D realm is a very dense realm, it's a physical realm, a lot of the things, not even a lot of, all of the things that transpire in the physical has already taken place in the spiritual. Sorry. If it's transpiring in the physical, it already took place in the spiritual. Y'all already know the saying, as above, so below. That's literally what we're getting to. You feel me? So the same applies when it comes to your mental health. So a lot of the things that we deal with here on this realm, in regards to our mental health, is oftentimes direct, not oftentimes, majority, 99.9% of the time, is directly related to what's going on with you spiritually. A lot of the times when it comes to physical ailments, you have backaches, stomach aches, you wondering why your heart, your chest, this and the third, a lot of that has to do with a lot of energy blockages. A lot of it could be, it can also be spiritual attacks. It can also be evil eye. It can be attack. Like, it's so many things, but it's the root of it, as far as getting to the core of what is really transpiring. You have to be able to dig deep within the spiritual aspect of your reality and of of your conscious and subconscious in order for you to really grasp how to handle and how to process and break down what's happening to you on a mental level. So when it comes to your mental health, right, it is important to understand when it comes, also in this realm, how do I say this without sounding crazy? I always sound crazy, but it's a situation where the things that we think about, right, are not often our thoughts. Majority of the time, the thoughts that you have can be from your higher self, right? It can be from your spiritual team, your angels, ancestors, spirit guides. She went to the store. It can be from directly from source itself. You understand? It can be from negative forces, negative and dark forces. So it honestly just depends on which route you choose to take as far as understanding that all of that transpires. So you have to be able to decipher between which thoughts are actually yours, which ones are negative influences, which thoughts are actually guidance from your team, which thoughts is actually words and, you know, things from source. You got to be able to separate and know what's what, because what will happen is that oftentimes we go through these traumas and we have these lessons that we need to learn, and we have these human experiences, and all we're supposed to do is just take from the human experience, learn the lesson, and just move forward. However, because this is a physical realm, and the main thing that you are going to be tested with on this realm is based off of your psyche, based off of your your mental. Understand that majority of the spiritual warfare that you're going to face here is going to be psychological. You understand? So for instance, say you sit there and you have a breakup, right? In hindsight, you understand that, okay, you and this other being, you guys are no longer compatible, you're no longer aligned. There has been some type of growth, whether it be on both ends or just one end, and the growth is creating a path that's now separate, right? You're supposed to learn the lessons that you had to learn from that individual, whatever you were supposed to teach that individual, on top of appreciating the experience that you've had, the moments that you've had with that being during that lesson, and move forward. But instead, we move forward on a physical level as far as the separation and living in different places and the lack of contact and just trying to go about life without this person. But energetically and spiritually, we're now being attacked and dealing, not necessarily attacked, but we're allowing ourselves to replay constantly what's going on, replay the pain, replay the trauma, replay all of the heartbreak, replay the grief, replay all of that things. And what it does is that it in turn keeps us in this psychological loop, right? It keeps us in a psychological loop that oftentimes attract low vibrational energy. So while you're sitting there as an individual, excuse me, while you're sitting there as an individual and as a woman, you're trying to move on, you're trying to move forward, you realize, hold on, I'm becoming real bitter. It's becoming a niggas ain't shit type of thing over here, and I don't want to see nobody happy, and I'm over here feeling some type of way about this, and life is looking like this, and this. So many things can transpire by us not aligning our spiritual selves with our physical, which helps the mental stay balanced. You understand what I'm saying? So when you gain a deeper understanding of the things that you go through and the things that you experience and the things that you have to heal from, you learn. And I'm not saying that this is easy, because as we speak, I'm still actively working on healing from certain things that have done severe damage to my overall mental health. You understand? But the importance is to make sure that every single day you're doing something to remind you and to pull you back up out of that, mental loop. Because if you don't give yourself enough grace and chance to pull yourself up out of that and to relieve yourself of all of that low vibrational emotion and energy, understand that it will create spiritual blockages. It will create spiritual delays. So that means that you could be sitting there sad, like we use the example, sad about another lover. And what that does is that the longer that you take to continuously dwell on that situation instead of just moving forward, the longer it will take for Source to bless you and align, for you to become aligned, for Source to be able to bless you with your divine partner who is going to love you properly, who is going to care for you, who is going to make sure that all of the needs that you have on an internal and an external level are fulfilled within that relationship. You understand? Same thing with anything else. You feel me? You feel like, oh man, shit not working out for me right now. I'm having a hard time, this, and the third. You sit there and you keep yourself in that mental loop of, oh, I'm broke and I can't do nothing and my life is this and I'm poor and I'm this and the third. That's all your reality is going to reflect, because spiritually that's what you are aligning yourself with. You understand? So it's about gaining this perspective, right? Having that understanding and knowing that what you can do to help heal yourself, especially a little bit quicker. And I said, it's just not a race. It's literally a lifelong thing. You understand? What you can do to properly have an overall well-being of all of your bodies, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional, and your spiritual bodies, is to understand the interconnectedness of it all. You cannot have one without the other. And this is coming from someone who is a huge mental health advocate. This is coming from someone who has actively healed herself from high functioning depression. You understand? This is me letting you guys know that I found no solution. This is me going to therapy for years, seeking outward help, doing the whole depression thing. Trust me, y'all, I have the depression room, the not wanting to do my stuff, the hygiene, everything, bro. I was severely depressed since the 7th grade, so y'all can only imagine what my mind entails as far as loops. You understand? Even now, me being fully in my purpose, me walking in my divine will, my divine purpose, I guarantee, even today, you understand, every day I replay things, but the way that I do it now is that instead of just replaying it and just dwelling in it, when the thoughts do come, I sit down, I break things down, I learn whatever new things, and I gain whatever new perspectives that I can gain. You feel me? So, but that came instead of just stressing myself and being overwhelmed with life and trying to figure out different things. That came, right, with just the overall understanding and alignment of my spiritual self. If I did not take the opportunity to tap into my spiritual self, if I did not take the opportunity to tap into my spiritual self and align myself with who I am for real, what my purpose is for real, all of those different things, then I would not be able to properly maneuver through the chaos of trying to heal your mental health. You understand? Of trying to recover. This is very vital, because when you have your awakening, you're going to go through this process where it feels like you don't even know, ooh, is that a mosquito? And it is. Where you feel like you don't even know who you are half the time, because you're going through a rediscovery. You're trying to figure out what it is, what are the parts of you that are actually genuine, what are the parts that needs to be deconstructed, what are the different things that you need to remove from yourself, what are the things that, it's so much stuff, and it'll put you in a mental state of just absolute chaos and turmoil. This ain't no drill. This ain't no little joke. When you sit there, you choose to awaken yourself, you better be prepared to have some serious mental toughness, because every single day you are going to get tried mentally. The war is in the mind. It has nothing to do, before you even get to the external aspect of things, the war within self starts within the mind. That is the level, that is the playing field. It's in your mind. You understand? And you have to be strong enough. You have to be willed enough to know what's what and what's not, and what you need to move on from and what you still need to focus on. So take this as a friendly reminder to ensure that you focus on your mental health. Ensure that you understand that if you are stuck, or if you feel like, damn, what is going on? That means that you need to tap into the spiritual aspect of yourself, because there's something much more deeper than just, oh, I'm sad all the time. There's something much more deeper than, oh, I have anxiety, or oh, I'm bipolar, or oh, I have schizophrenia, or whatever the fuck it may be. Because one thing that I did learn when studying on shamanic practices, you understand, is that over in Eastern culture, you feel me, especially over in Brazil, they have these healing centers where they don't consider people who have schizophrenia as those who are not able to be socially They don't look at them as if they have an illness. What it is that they recognize that schizophrenic individuals are those individuals who are open mediums and because they are open mediums and they don't know that they're open mediums, and they're not being trained, and they're not being molded, and that gift is not being strengthened, right? They're not understanding and learning discernment, right? They're not having the proper spiritual guidance. They are allowing all of these open spiritual channels to be able to to channel through all open channels in the spiritual realm to be able to move, communicate through that particular vessel. So when you see that schizophrenic people who are oftentimes having, and this is not to say that mental health should not be taken seriously or anything of that nature in the physical realm. What I'm saying is that it needs to be viewed from a completely different perspective, because a lot of the clients who go to Eastern, who live in the eastern part of the world and who deal with these things, when they go through these different healing centers, right? They go to these different healing centers, because niggas is not putting them in a psych ward, because niggas is not crazy, bro. Yes, there are some people that are bugged. I'm not sitting there saying that. What I'm saying though is that there are certain situations where people are just actively tapped in, and because they don't have the village or the support system around them, who actually just don't have the understanding or the deeper level outside of just, oh, go to church and pray, they are oftentimes misdiagnosed as something completely different, when really and truly they just have gifts that they need to work and be more disciplined with. You feel me? Long story short, understand that when you make the choice to heal yourself mentally, you need to also check to see what it is spiritually that you are in lack of. You need to make sure that as you are going on that mental healing journey, that you are building and developing a relationship with the divine. Because if you do not, then it will be very, very difficult. Because on one thing, it's your mind in the conscious level. That's your self-awareness. That's me moving right now and talking right now and doing that. But there are so many archives, not just from our current life, but also our previous lifetimes. There's also generational shit that we have to deal with subconsciously. So it's way more deeper than just, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna meditate and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. No, you genuinely have to look within and figure out what is it that you need to do step by step on both aspects, both physical and spiritual, in order to create a balance. You understand? I'm not talking as somebody who has figured it all out and all of that stuff, because every single day I be disassociating like a bitch. But I'd always just make sure that when I'm in that state, I have the self-awareness that I need to come up out of it. I don't stay sad for too long. I don't do the extra shit for too long, because at the end of the day, I don't understand the job that I have. I understand the spiritual aspect of it. I understand why certain things are happening. I understand why I'm allowing them to, why I've allowed that to happen. I understand now what energetic space I'm in. I understand the vibration that I'm operating. I get it all. You understand? So when you have a deeper understanding, you're able to handle it, and you're able to face that particular energy, that particular spirit. You're able to face that particular issue a lot better, and with a sound mind, with a lot more of a knowing, and it doesn't feel like just chaos and clutter in your mind. Okay? I love you all so much, and I will tap in with y'all in the next video.